There is a lovely creator on here. I don't know her name. I don't remember, but I do remember that her video definitely resonated with me so much to the point where I get it. I get it now. She was saying that she doesn't want friends. Women don't need friends. They need allies because women are far too emotional to be friends. And I do think that that is very true. And, you know, it's not just about pointing the finger, but it's also looking at yourself and like what exactly makes you emotional that other people do or the friends in the past have done that have put you into the emotion in the state of feeling hurt and betrayed and whatever. You know, although people can be very shitty, I do think that relationships, personal relationships of any kind, you are bound to get hurt. It made sense because she broke down why. To add onto that subject, I do think that the reason that it makes sense is because whenever you go towards any type of relationship or dynamic and you're trying to make that a personal dynamic, lover, friend, best friend, etc., versus just knowing people, versus just creating a network for yourself, versus just keeping people at the surface, just exchanging information and knowledge and skills and expertise, that is way more important. When you seek relationships, when you are seeking to be loved, when you are seeking people to make you feel good, when you are seeking out relationships to make you that fulfill or compensate for something that maybe you lacked in the past, that maybe somebody didn't give you, or I don't know, when it is normal to, I think, like, want to develop a personal kinship with people. It's definitely normal, but let's be honest, it's very risky. And it's not that you have to be afraid to get hurt. It's not that you have to be afraid and scary to build relationships, but the closest people to you are going to hurt you. I've come to that conclusion. That's just what it is. It doesn't mean that they're going to purposely try to hurt you, but it does mean that you're going to get hurt. The people that love you the most, the people that you love the most, they're going to hurt you, and they're not even going to try to do that. They're not even going to purposely try to do that. You're going to get hurt because you guys are going to have indifferences. You guys are going to have things that you disagree on. You guys are going to have like a point in time where there's confrontation, right? And you're not going to like it. So before you pursue somebody for a personal connection versus just a neutral connection, versus just like a I see you, you see me, we can exchange resources, we can share this, and I know that I can hit you up for this and whatever. When you pursue things for personal matters because you're being kind of like, I don't want to say selfish, but it is kind of selfish because you want what you want out of that person, prepare to be hurt. If you can understand that and say to yourself, like, wait, anybody that I'm going to have a personal relationship with, it's eventually going to come to a point where we're going to not see eye to eye. We're going to have a disagreement. Just understand that. Ask yourself, like, do I want to experience, is this person, me going to get into this relationship that I'm trying to pursue with this person to get to know them deeper, is this actually worth it? Or could I keep them in more of a compartment of relationships that are more so like neutral, and there's no bad thing, they don't owe me any type of thing, you know? They, of course, people owe you respect, and like, you should definitely mess with people that you like, but when things are personal, when relationships are personal, there is so much more that has to go into that has to be nurtured. You're constantly having to like feed people's ego, or like they are, or whatever it is that they're lacking, and you have to work with that. So of course that takes work, that does take empathy, that takes a certain amount of consideration. And those relationships also help you too, but you have to know who's worth it and who's not worth it. And y'all have to both be in like the type of resonance and alignment to even want to pursue that type of personal relationship. But getting back to the friends, like women being friends, it actually doesn't make as much sense as you would want it to. Like, I think women can definitely be friends, but that has to grow over time. We already know this. This is things that we already know. Yes, friendships take time, but you have to ask yourself, why do you want a friend? I want a friend sometimes, but I'm already knowing that comes with, like, you know what that comes with. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I've pushed people away. I've definitely pushed people away when I sense shit that I don't like. And I'm guilty of that, because sometimes I know that the shit that they do that I don't like is also like a reflection of shit that I haven't really looked at within myself, or it's like a reminder of shit that I need to work on, or it's some type of weird ass like two sides of the same coin type thing going on. Like, it's strange, it's odd. So I do think that you learn a lot through personal relationships, but it does get to a point where it's like you stop seeking the personal fulfillment. You become fulfilled in other ways and other avenues, and like other passions and purposes and movements. You create that for yourself, you occupy that for yourself, and then you do question, like, okay, like, what's the reasoning behind me making friends? Why do I want a friend? Why do I want new friends right now? Why do I want, like, what am I trying to get out of a friend? What am I trying to get out of a friend? You know? So you're gonna get hurt regardless. So it does make sense to keep people. It's like, what are we doing? Why do we feel the need to sit around and seek company? It makes sense to want to support people more than being in people's personal space and taking up their personal time. You don't need a super, super intimate connection, because naturally you will get hurt. But not because they're purposely trying to hurt you, but because if you have too much emotion attached to somebody, then that means that somewhere along the line, they're going to do something. Now, you can definitely approach making new friends in a healthier dynamic. But I do think that anytime that I was pursuing and trying to if I'm on the side of things to where I'm trying to, like, I want this to work, like I'm trying to make a friendship work, I tend to take things more personal, because one, either they're not, like, they're not reciprocating, or they do something that bothers me. Now, of course, that's up for me to have a conversation with. But even if y'all both are trying to create a personal connection, I think that there's still more authenticity in that, but it's not gonna happen like very, very fast. Healthier way, I would say, is just like, it's gonna happen way more slow. And there's not gonna be like this, like binging each other, like you're trying to see each other every damn week and like all this extra stuff, and y'all just be around each other like y'all in a relationship or some shit. That's another way that people get hurt as well, because you're constantly concerned about if someone likes you or whatever the heck, when in reality, people are not gonna like every single thing that you do or every single aspect of you, because we're human beings, and human beings be doing human being shit. And so it's like, why would someone like everything that you do? That's another thing. When you're friends, you want people to, I would say for me, that a little thing, delusional thing, is like, I want people to like all of me, but they might not like all of me. But if they're just an ally, it's just like, I don't have that expectation for them to like all of me, because they're not in my, like, they're not in my immediate, like, you know, relationship, friendship dynamic. So it's like I don't have that expectation for them to like just full on like, oh, like I absolutely love everything about you. You know, like that's some delusional shit to even expect a friend to like all sides of you. You know what I mean? So I think that yeah, like having friendships that holds a certain type of emotional expectation compared to two women that don't need to be in each other's face. You can't be sitting up here taking things personal when with people that you have more of an ally or neutral relationship with. It's like there is no personal things. You're not looking at every single detail like what did that mean? It gives you a lot more peace of mind because people don't owe you this thing. They're just existing, and you know that if you need to go to them for something, or if you want to exchange resources or information, etc., you know how networking goes, then you can do that. So it just makes sense to have a network. That also means that it's okay to just, if you get to a point where somebody in your network is just not supposed to be there, then you can just, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, that's just the mature part of being an adult. You can definitely still make friends, but these friends, you're not supposed to go into depth and like merge with them. If you really want to grow, stop making shit so personal. You can't stop trying to build like super personal relationships and just build a network that you're good. And through your network, you'll probably find out that eventually throughout time, these are people that you would prefer to have personal relationships with. But the fact that y'all slowed it down and y'all didn't immediately jump to trying to be together and hang out like that because of some common interest, and instead y'all just like were just doing what you was doing and they doing what they doing, and then eventually y'all cross paths again. It's like, it's a slow freaking process, and I'd rather it be a slow process than for it to be like some super spontaneous, impulsive ass decisions.